We're off. I think. Hey, everybody. It's Lunch with Dan Boul.
With Dan Boul. Hey, you're taking my gig.
What?
Today on the show, we have from Rock Guitar Daily, Tony Connolly. Of course, we have Dan Boul. We have the King of Norway. We have a woman from Glendale who claims to have invented the number 7. From Dirty Eyes, we have Salami. He's going to discuss the new album. I'm Brett Jason here with Sofa Kings, myself, Bob Kulick, and the missing Miles Rose.
Miles, where are you?
Paul Ank will be coming by.
He's relentless, isn't he?
Oh.
Just relentless.
Well,
He lives in the neighborhood.
luckily we did lock the front door.
Yeah. Paul's got people.
What's also lucky is this is the extended version.
All right. Well, thank you, Brett. Wait. Oh, perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Theme music is hard to come by.
The lady from Glendale, what time is she showing up?
The lady from Glendale. Yeah. So anyway, I'm here with Producer84 prototype again. Made a couple of updates to it from last week. I think I got the gainy side sorted out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, didn't we do that last week? But you've made some tweaks.
I have. I've changed it. Remember how I could completely swamp out the gainy side last week? Now you can push it. Miles is upset because he didn't get any love from the EL84, EL34 argument last week. Well, if you follow the entrails of that conversation on YouTube, he actually came out and said, Dan was actually right. Really, the comparison only stands up in the hi-fi world, which is Miles. I love Miles. I love Miles. He is Miles, and we love him for being the nerd that he is.
Miles likes to take pictures of his lunch.
He does. He takes a lot of pictures of his lunch. He takes a lot.
He's a food photographer.
You know why he does that? This will give you an insight into Miles. One time he came into the old shop, and Mike Francis-Cheney said, "Dude, why the hell do you take pictures of your food?" And at the same time, Miles's brother was like, "Dude, I don't give a damn what you had for lunch." And that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So now he takes pictures of his lunch every day because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday there was just some tortilla chips with salsa.
Yeah. Well, no, that was the appetizer. Yeah. And then he did the whole thing. Hey, could we turn the air on? Or is that just me? Because I know I'm kind of flirting with a cold. So, HB Jr., hello from the Great White North. Where are you, HB Jr.? Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
It's 34 degrees wherever you streamer 8600, and I forget that it's winter around the world now.
It's 90 degrees here in LA today.
Yeah, we're having a heat wave today. It's going to be 90 degrees here in Van Nuys. Yeah.
Don't hate us because we're beautiful.
People say, kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said California is the place you ought to be.
Don't like the weather.
What's that?
Move.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I have this conversation with my dad in Missouri all the time. He's like, it's like, hey, Dad, so like our ancestors moved to Missouri because it looked like where they came from, on the North Rhine and in Ireland and places. And they felt like, hey, I could make a living off this land if I had to, because 100 years ago that was relevant. And he goes, yeah, that's right. And I said, but Dad, you're not a farmer. Why do you want to live where the wind chill factor gets to 20 below zero? And mosquitoes as big as your forearm that talk to you before they bite you.
Mosquito.
Can I play which song? Oh, the Beverly Hillbillies song? Oh, I used to know how to play. I can play it on a banjo.
I'll get the spoons. And a jug.
If I could tune the guitar in open G, I think I could do it.
And think about that. You used to be able to play the jug.
That's right. Well, listen to my story about a man named Chad. Poor mountaineer, but he kept his family fed.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, he was looking at some crew, and up from the ground came a bubbling crew. Texas tea, Saudi soda,
Black gold.
black gold.
Did you know that Jed Clampett was the original Tin Man
Yes.
in The Wizard of Oz?
And he got canned from the movie because he got poisoning
nearly
because
killed
they
him.
painted him with
real
silver paint. Yeah. And he was
and he got very sick.
he was
He
like
almost turned into Silverfinger.
He almost died.
yeah, exactly. He was the
They
original Bond
almost-
villain. Yeah.
Goldfinger
They almost
Yeah.
killed him.
Yeah, he had to like live in an iron lung or something for a month, and yeah, they almost killed him.
Yep.
Poor
They
Jed.
tried.
But you know the thing. John Dodson says it was 17 degrees in Missouri last night. See, and the Beverly Hillbillies were from Missouri. They were from down in the Ozarks.
Right.
Buddy Epson.
Buddy Epson.
Buddy Epson, swimming pools, movie star.
Last night I drank with Gable's
Pimps, hookers.
You drank with Gable's ghost last night at the Sportsman.
Side by side.
Was Lombard's ghost there naked?
I can't say, but I'm
Yeah.
smiling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
right.
can't say for sure, but
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah.
Cameron played it on a
That
guitar.
chick had a great.
A real Lulu.
Boy, oh boy.
6'3".
She was tall. Yeah. Now, wasn't Max Baer Jr. an interesting choice for that show? I mean,
I think it's because his dad had a good agent.
wow, man.
When your
It
dad,
really, it's like, well, wait, this is the ex-heavyweight champ's son.
Let's hear the theme from Deliverance.
Oh boy.
What is that? Oh, I used to know how to play that
Bang,
too.
bang,
We're
bang.
really paying attention to you guys today.
Ba ba bang bang bang.
Something.
Hey, if one of your listeners asks me to squeal like a pig, I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Disturbing.
Oh, we go off into the world of the necks of red.
Somebody's going to ask for the theme for Goldfinger next.
How's that one?
Oh, that's great. Really good.
Indeed, Shirley Bassey.
I know the regular James Bond.
All right, here's a great one. Who was the guitar player on that session?
That was, I know who it was.
Oh,
On the original James Bond or the,
Goldfinger on
Goldfinger.
that original song.
I know the guy's name. He's in the book. I brought the book. We got to talk about the book. Who was that? Tedesco? Tom Jones.
Jessica, what a great guitar player.
I don't know. Dudley Moore.
I'll give you yes. Yes. I'll give you I'll give you a hint. He'd be like the most obvious choice of like the de facto guitar session musician from England at that time.
Jimmy Page.
Big Jim Sullivan.
Jimmy Page.
Nice. Because I know the original one. The
James Page.
it was like Jim Flick or somebody.
Jim Sullivan.
Boy, we're just off into nowhere's land, aren't we? Ned and his tidy whities.
It's
Yeah.
that lady from Glendale. Salami, go see if the lady from Glendale's here.
170 accidentally.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. She's at that 134 interchange, taking the wrong exit. I don't want to go to Dodger
King of
Stadium.
Norway is in
goddammit.
the green room. We bring him out.
Right. So let's talk about the EL34 thing
Doing
really
this,
quick.
Salami.
Yeah.
Tape or what?
All right, easy, fellas, easy.
We have a sleeping band member on the couch here.
Yeah, Salami's
We have a sofa king. We have a crashed out sofa king.
Salami's bored.
Glendale, what's her name?
Yeah.
I think it ends
That's a
in
good name for her. Yeah.
it ends. I don't know, but it ends in IAN something. Oh, Glendale jokes. I guess we can't make those. Hey, bro.
Well, it is very pertinent.
So the Producer 84, high current, low voltage, does the sound of a big EL34, or big EL84 amp. I've got all my Beatley tones here, as you heard. But the thing I was having trouble with last week was the high gain side. It was just nothing but swamped out. So now it works. And all we really did was pull some bass out so it wouldn't swamp. I can even push it really hard now and get like uber distortion. Really, the most of what I did was just remove some bass, and I shaved a little bit of gain off of it. we put sort of a high-pass filter in it. So I put a lot of bottom end in my amps, and in this particular situation, it was just swamping out the EL84s. It's no more bass. Yeah, Vic Flick was the guy that played the original James Bond thing. But with EL84s, they just don't do all the bottom that the 6L6s and the EL34s do, and that was something that slipped past my thought process for some reason. And my friend Dave Friedman pointed that out to me. Dave Friedman goes, dude, you're running a lot of bass into those little tubes. I went, oh, God, you're right. Thank you. Kind of pointed out the obvious to me. And thank you, Dave Friedman, for being the voice of reason. So I just cut down the bass that was going in that tube. Now it sounds like it has more bass, but it actually doesn't. And the tubes can handle it because EL34s and EL84s are not the same, as I'm proving by this change. So yeah, I got to get those 3 Strymon pedals back here. I actually have the Flint that really sounds cool. I just haven't played it on the show. So like the regular channel is really cool. It's just total Vox, great rhythm sound. I love that sound. One of my favorite rhythm sounds in the world. Push it just a little harder. I got a little booster on here to compensate for humbuckers and single coils, so if I pull that out, you get the... Not playing it quite right, but you get the idea. As Bob would say, yeah, that's the spirit of it. Back down to good Voxy. Get it? It's that kind of sound. I love it. Yeah, I can put some pedals on here. Right now, I just want to show off the amps. This does have a passive effects loop on it and master voltage and all that stuff, so it's very pedal friendly. We were doing all the Beatley stuff before, you know. Just a hair. Got all that sound. Rock and Roll Willie says, was that song done on are you talking about the Faces tune I was playing? No, that was done on 7591s. That was done on an Ampeg, but it's the same kind of sound. But it just kind of has that sound. Somebody was saying Badfinger. No matter what you do. Who can sing that high? You don't even know the song, do you? You're too young.
No, I don't know.
You know that song?
I don't know how to sing it.
I will always be with you. How many times did you have to go to Mercury Magnetics to change the transformer in the prototyping process of this amp? Well, I'm not done yet. I have another transformer coming next week. Right now, I'm happy with the wind on it. I'm playing with primary impedances. So this one, the primary impedance is a little bit low. I think it's going to... the volume is up full on my guitar, Dave, yeah. So by the time it's all said and done, I think I'm only going to go through 3 revisions on the output transformer on this, which is pretty low. Rock and Roll Willie said this amp avoids what I call scratchy distortion in many 84 amps. Yeah, that's crossover distortion is what you're talking about. And all of our amps have a little circuit that get rid of that. So, and an AC30 will go into heavy crossover distortion if you push it really hard. Tell us what changing the primary impedance does to the sound, Dan. Well, the primary impedance is the relationship between the output tubes and the first side, why it's called the primary, the first side of the output transformer. So the impedance of these 4 tubes is right around 4K. Right now I have it a little bit underloaded. It's only seeing 3.3K, which is good. Underloading it, the tubes a little bit will give you some kind of upper harmonic things that are really cool. If you overload the transformer, then you tend to get a little woodier sound. You get a little more distortion. And the distortion tends to be more even order harmonic distortion. I really like this one a lot. But I just want to try. I have one coming from Mercury that has 4 and 4.5K. So, and honestly, the difference you're probably not going to hear on Ustream. Unfortunately, I'm down to whittling fine shades of gray of the X factor, which is that thing that doesn't have any description. You know. The EL84s that I like to use are made by JJ, and their plate impedance is not always correct. So usually what I have Mercury do, I mean, we keep really good data on what the actual impedance of our JJs come out at, so I have them optimize it for that. So we're messing with, you know, tenths of Ks now in impedance. But you can really get into a really nice little finely tuned thing if you do it right. Dave Keene says, I find I don't lose that bite when I roll off my Les Paul with a Ventura. Yeah, it's a good clean circuit. Can't use EHs in my amps, Hendrix Leva. Actually, I could in this one. They don't take any voltage. And to me, they're very muffled sounding. They really sound like this compared to a JJ in my circuits. I do kind of high definition things. Anita Farragut's eating lunch while listening to the Dan Boul Show. But hear that high-end chime? I don't know if it's coming through Ustream. I watched last week's show and you don't get a lot of it. I upped the primary impedance. I'm going to get a little bit more of that. It's a really cool sound. I'm happy with it. And that was with the booster on. If I take the booster off, I know Ustream tends to kill a little high end, so I'm going to push some high end here. Hear that sort of little hollowed out woody sound there? That's good EL84 tone. That chime on the top. Midnight Rambler. Yeah, I can do it without a capo. It's hard to do without it. You gotta do this. I need a capo. Are you singing it? Got it? Brett has a capo laying around here somewhere. Is that over there? Usually it's sitting on the table or something. No? It's okay. No big deal. Have I discussed building the period correct amps? Yeah, not really. Hey, Rock and Roll's even typing along of it. Now, there's no EF86 in this one. This is 4 EL84s done in my producer paradigm. So it's low voltage, high current. Yeah, it's 4 EL84s, running pretty low voltage, very high current. And I'm able to get a lot of flexibility out of the tube. Sing it, Bob. No? Well, I'm talking about the Midnight Rambler. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the record.
How many people put vinyl? Come on, let me show you something.
Yeah, hang on one second. I'm almost done here with the... Besides the events that we play for the kids, do we have a band and play? Yeah, but we just don't play very much. We play at little dive places. It's very fun. The problem is everyone else in my band is actually a really successful working musician, and I'm not. So they have stuff to do. The band that we have is just to stay busy when they're down, just to keep moving. Dina Carter just released her new record. Was just in Nashville at the CMAs and all that stuff. So you can actually, it comes out in like 2 weeks. It's not released yet, but you can pre-order it. And KJ's record. Who's KJ? KJ Kanye Jest? I don't know. KJ and the Sunshine Band? Oh, kind of like Jack Shit? Yeah, exactly. Which, if you haven't seen Jack Shit play around anywhere, go see Jack Shit. Oh, Christy James. No, Christy James is, she was number 2 on iTunes this morning, our friend from Australia. She's doing great. Just released her new record, so go check that out. But speaking of records, let's talk about this Dirty Eyes record that was recorded here at Office Studios. And they're doing something really weird with it. What is this large, giant thing you have in your hand?
Brett, talk about it.
No.
Oh, Salami's going to be shy. Check it out, man. L.A. Rockers.
Guess what that is?
L.A. Rockers.
It's not floor tile.
I can't stick this in the dashboard of my car. I don't know what to do.
It's as hard as floor tile.
Let me sit.
You know what they do here at Office Studios is they make records. Isn't that crazy?
That's the crazy
It's a record. It's vinyl.
Look at that thing.
And there's a kid on here listed on playing lead guitar. Is it Anthony or is it Antony?
Whatever you want.
Where are you from originally?
Las Vegas.
Oh, so it's Anthony.
Yeah, that's Anthony.
Yeah. I thought you might have been
My whole family's from New York, so it actually is Anthony.
Anthony.
Go promote your record. You
Anthony Stasi.
Come on, you wop bastard, get up.
Anyway, so the band is called Dirty Eyes, and this was all recorded right here, right?
And we're gonna do 3 more here.
You're going to do 3 more. 3 more tracks or 3 more records?
We're gonna we're gonna put that out and then gradually put out singles, so keep people.
Should be talking up in the guest spot.
Come on. And Brett has given him the racist nickname of Salami. And we're not quite sure where that comes from. Although I can insert, pardon the pun, a few ideas.
Yeah. It was like Bushy and Salami.
So when you guys were taking this picture on the front, were you kind of pissed off, or?
No, it was just like a night of photo shoots. And
Yeah.
one photo
It's
shoot.
like,
When they found out it was going to be big enough to put on a record, they freaked out.
Yeah.
So you can't, on the CD, you can't really see
because it's a very cool rock shot, but some of the things you look here, you kind of go, they're looking at the photographer like, seriously, dude,
Oh, yeah,
fuck,
well,
just take the picture.
Totally.
It's kind of like Johnny Thunders without heroin.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys kind of look like that, but without the heroin.
That's what it sounds like.
Sound pretty
Yeah.
comfortable to me.
Sounds
so
pretty
I-
East Coast punk.
So you're not gonna come and talk? Okay, you're gonna be shy?
Come on, Salon.
What do you want me to say?
Do you guys want to at least say hi to Antony?
Sit on the chair.
Sit on the chair.
Get your butt cracked.
Dirty Eyes. Dirty Eyes.
Hey, it is.
Hey, there he is. Look, come on up.
Look at him.
Come on up,
Good
man.
salami.
Don't spook.
Come up closer, man.
Real pain in the ass.
Here, microphone. Come close.
And you can
What's
tell the
up?
band that was on Dan Boul show today.
Man, there you go.
That's it.
So hey, I was
So-
out promoting the record. Where the hell were you?
Exactly.
So here's guys. I checked out Dirty Eyes on the web. I like their style. Well, you should.
Thank you.
And Anita Farragut said their music was wild.
Feral.
Cool.
There's a feral bunch.
Yeah, are they feral? Are they feral young boys?
Quite.
Is your
What are they? They're
is-
feral.
They're feral.
you ever watch like when rock and roll first happened and guys were interviewing rock and rollers, like some guy with horn rimmed glasses, and they would ask questions like, "So, is your record full of like teenage angst? Is this something that your parents would be proud of?
They have some angst.
Are you guys on Spotify?
Yeah, but it's just old like little demo stuff.
So this record's
this
not
is,
yet.
This is the first thing that's.
Will it be?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yep, very soon.
Very nice.
Yep.
Man, can we play it here, Brett?
What we're gonna play it on?
Well, I don't know. The computer you recorded it on. A CD would work. Yeah, we don't have a turntable laying around here, do we?
Sounds
Chuck
like
Berry and a
looks.
bucket of speed went down to CBGB's.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Is that one of your lyrics?
No, no.
But look at Anthony. Doesn't he look like an LA rock and roll guy?
Oh, thank you.
No, it's good. No, I just love it because like when I used to be you, I used to look exactly like that without the black hair. I had the big poodle head. I had the big curly poodle head, and I love it. It's very good. And there's kind of a resurgence of LA rock and roll happening again. You see a lot of bands coming around. They look like LA rock and roll bands. So it would be fun to see. Are you guys playing around anything?
Yeah, we just played last week in Hollywood. We don't have anything booked right now, but
Oh, okay.
we could have something tomorrow. Just look up. Everything's done usually on Facebook and Twitter. Dirty Eyes Rock and Roll is Facebook, and RNR, Dirty Eyes RNR.
Here, I'll put it up here where everybody can see it. I got to allow links.
Now that'll cost you some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, lunch. What is it? Dirty Eyes R&R.
Yeah, that's the Twitter, and the other one's Rock and Roll. Dirty Eyes Rock and Roll.
Oh, is the website?
No, that's the Twitter one.
Oh, okay. So it's just at Dirty Eyes. Rock
Yeah.
and Roll. L.A. sucks to play. Yeah,
I
it's always
agree
been
with
a
that.
difficult town. Absolutely.
Unconscious?
It's still all pay to play, isn't it?
You unconscious up there, Stallone?
Give me a break, please.
What are you doing, man?
Do you want to play guitar?
Sure, I love playing guitar. Yeah.
I can give you real dirt, so you'll feel very comfortable. Pick the guitar.
Whatever.
Here, have fun. Play guitar for a minute.
Cool.
Here.
This sounds crazy in there.
Yeah, you need to pick. There.
It's something completely different.
No, just they like to hear other people play. More or less good. There you go. What label are they on? You guys are self.
Yeah.
They're on the Dirty Eyes Rock and Roll label.
No, nothing yet.
I boycott those venues. Is it still
I
pay? It's
agree.
still pay to play around here
I
though.
like
Isn't it?
reading all this stuff.
Oh yeah, it goes. I have to like not say half the stuff that comes up here, but is it still like hardcore pay to play everywhere?
On Sunset, yeah, absolutely. It's not even worth doing.
I never made a profit doing that.
Oh yeah, no way. You give them $1,000 before you play.
Yeah, you had to buy 300
Yeah.
tickets,
You get
and
$70 if you're lucky at the end of the night.
yeah, but the doormen always let their friends in.
Yeah.
And so if the place is packed, you go, yeah, I'm making money, and you realize that 3/4 of the people were let in free by the staff. And like they didn't actually buy tickets.
No.
Very cool. Not bad for a little Beatle.
I like it a lot. Everything I've played of yours, I like.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so let's go over some of these song titles here because I'm really curious. Get Me Out of Here. Was this from a night in prison,
No, actually,
or was it from a fat chick?
this one is a night. Is that one?
Oh,
Actually,
no.
it probably is. Yeah, maybe a fat chick.
Good Times Are Gone.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, what happened, man? Good Times Are Gone. Is
Didn't
that?
write that one.
Was that the angst of youth from the George Bush years, the economic crash? I'm just giving you softballs here. I like it. Riding Straight to Hell. Oh, dude. That's cool. Produced by Bob Kulick and Brett Chasen and Dirty Eyes. Mixed by Brett Chasen.
There you go.
Office Studios in Van Nuys, California.
Yep.
I love this. You guys have, like, I did this too when I was here in the 80s. You've got LA stage rock and roll names.
Except me.
Right. Yeah, but yours works though.
Yeah.
Yours works. Like, you
I
know,
never got that.
Donnie Rocks is his real name, like
It's his.
Murray Lipschitz.
No, that's his first name, but
Come on.
his real last name is probably more unbelievable than that.
Yeah. There's guys in yeah. Yeah, but his mom calls him Mort. There's like there's a couple of guys even in the country world that they have these names, and I guess I don't know. I could say it on here. It won't get me in too much trouble. So they don't buy my amps anymore. But like the dude that's the lead singer for that country band Rascal Flatts.
Yes.
His real name's like Gary Silverman or something, but he changed it to Gary LaVox because most of the people, I guess, in his audience don't figure out that Vox is Latin for voice. And he's Gary the Voice. I like that. Just like Teddy Too Much. Teddy Too Much. From the Too Much family, the Rhode Island Too Muches. Yeah. 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 Now, are you guys in the mafia? Is that? Very nice. Now Salami's waking up.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding, man. This is cool, dude. I wish I had a fucking record when I was your age.
Hey, Brett, did you guys record?
Did you guys record Lynch's new band KXM? No. What was the answer? It was a subdued no. Nice. Yeah, there's Gary LaVox, but I had in my band the drummer used to have a drinking problem, and his girlfriend told me she wouldn't have sex with him if he was drinking, but he had a fatal weakness of Crown. Like he couldn't resist Crown Royal. So we wrote a song based on Shake, Rattle, and Roll that was "She means more than whiskey to me, but she don't mean more than a shot of Crown." And his nickname, we called him Memphis, Tennessee, because he was such a drunk. He was like this drunk redneck. So that was his stage name. We actually wrote songs about it. I, of course, was the obligatory Danny Electro.
I did the record as
Tax Revlon? Nice. I like that.
It was a punk band. I didn't like punk.
Yeah.
I did the record.
Yeah.
So I made them call me Tax.
Well, that sounds like one of those actor names from the Beverly Hillbillies. Biff Hardtack. Tax Revlon. I like that. It's like Max Factor and Tampax and Revlon all together. Very nice. So, a drummer with a drinking problem. Say it ain't so. Yeah, Engelbert Humperdinck. You know what his real name is, though, right? It's Magdibert Slapdyback. No, his real name's Jerry Dorsey. Did you ever see that Eddie Izzard skit? He said,
Is he still alive, oldie?
yeah, Engelbert Humperdinck's real name is Jerry Dorsey, and they were sitting around in a room one day trying to come up with a stage name for him. And Eddie Izzard was talking about, I'd love to have been in that room during that conversation. Okay, we're thinking Magdibert Slapdyback, Slutbum Walla, Engelbert Humperdinck, Jerry Dorsey. Wait a minute, go back one. Engelbert. Slutbum Walla. No. The other one, Engelbert Humperdinck. Yeah, Engelbert Humperdinck. That works. I like Magdibert Slapdyback.
Mick Jagger.
Really?
Now, how in the hell does that happen?
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Tom, he's swinging.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom saves. Arnold George Dorsey.
He was as big as the Beatles for a minute before
Yeah.
the Beatles blew up. Tom Jones
I think he was the first guy to show off the sausage in the pants too. Yeah, I mean, I think even Robert Plant said, because he's Welsh and Robert Plant is Welsh, and he was talking about how he got his cue from Tom Jones. His stage thing initially was he was doing his Tom Jones imitation. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend who experienced Tom, and she said he was always cracked up to be.
Engelbert. There's that new English actor I think has the same name. His name's Benedict Cumberbatch. Do I ever run into David Lee Roth at Henson? Now I've ran into David Lee Roth a couple of times, and I got to tell you, it was kind of a scary experience. I was in a small room with him once when he was, shall we say, inebriated.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Play Running with the Devil.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how, but
A minor to G. Yeah. And I got you guys know Roth pretty well, I think, but the times that I was around Roth, I was genuinely kind of scared. Like he was all like wigging out and really loud and running around. It was in a dressing room at some award show, and I think he'd been on the ski team that day or something. I don't know what happened, but yeah, dude, that guy. But he was like yelling and throwing shit and laughing while he was like. Yeah, kind of. And I was genuinely kind of fearing for myself. That's right. I was like, well, David, sir, I think now I'm going to go get some toast. Yeah, but it was just so loud, and I felt like, man, he's just going to turn around and start punching people for fun, you know? Yeah. Well, I mean one of the guy that actually beat the shit out of David Lee Roth.
He's an EMT in New York.
Right, I remember that.
Actual working EMT.
Wow. Right.
So you could have been like lying there on the ground. The ambulance shows up.
Right.
You look up and there's Dave going, "Don't worry, you're gonna be just fine.
Have a hit of this." Yeah.
That look in his eye, and you're like, "Holy shit."
Yeah, no, I've been around him. He was pretty messed up. But no, I've never ran into him at Henson. I've run into amazing people at Henson, but not David Lee Roth. The last big star sighting I had there was McCartney. I was waiting to see Fariel. A little bit. I had an appointment to meet the studio manager, and she made me wait on the sofa in the hallway, and out comes walking Paul. It's like, okay. Very cool. We're at 1 o'clock right now. So basically, when is this record going to be available?
Still talking about it. No.
Come over here now and buy one.
We'll have an album release show.
Oh, okay, yeah. Say it again.
We'll have an album release show soon, I'm sure.
Oh, cool.
We're still talking about it though.
Oh, right on.
100%.
You could do it here. Got Dandy Don's ice cream.
There you go. We'll cater.
We can have it catered.
We have ice cream and pour rum on top of it. There was
And then they give us ice cream and he sees how they fare dealing with
Oh, I like that. Be a little door, a little window right here. Anyway. Play some helicopters, he says.
David Lee Roth.
So that.
Engelbert, Jerry Dorsey. Yeah, that's right.
Came in late. What amp are you using today?
Oh, you just got on here, Mitch. This is the Producer84 prototypes, 4 EL84s, running high current, low voltage. And it's still in a prototype stage, but it's getting pretty close to being baked. I got a couple other tweaks I want to do on it. And I think we're almost there. I'm really happy. And this is Anthony Stasi, a.k.a. Salami, who Brett gave him that racist nickname. Charlie. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen said he skied with Roth. I think, yeah. Yeah, Charlie Sheen and David Lee Roth did drugs. Yeah. Talk about the radio show. Well, yeah, we need to do that here pretty soon. So, Anthony, check out the Black Halos.
Okay.
I think you something them first. You will like them. First album in particular. Who are the Black Halos?
Never heard of him. Charlie Sheen said he's skiing with Roth.
Yeah, I know. These guys are being pretty good. There's 4 or 5 guys on here that just type wholesale, vulgar, hilarious stuff. Just trying to crack me up while I'm sitting here reading, playing guitar. There's one guy named Bassface Josh who's not here. Oh, he is here. You need a pic of me with big LA hair? I have it somewhere. I'll bring it in. I got a framed one over my piano at home. My wife found some outtakes from a photo shoot in like 1987. I got the big poodle hair and I got a guitar that looks like a hockey stick. Yeah, and so she actually went and framed it and hung it over my piano, and I walked in and went, oh my God, what is that? I got my Maui and Sons tank top on. It's total 1987. Yeah, pretty much.
I love when people send pictures and they're not recognized. Who is that? That's me.
Oh, yeah. The Black Halos. I think you like them. Okay, cool. And Anita says, I bet they suck. What are you talking about, Anita? Bass is here. Bassface Josh. He must be not paying attention. T-Bone Burnett is calling Nashville Mecca for musicians. Yeah, I wonder why. There's always there's always the thing of perspective. Like, I have a bunch of friends that went back to Nashville for the CMAs, and they came back and they said, oh my gosh, Nashville's on fire. Everyone I talk to is selling records. I'm like, yeah, you went to an award show. Those are the most successful people in the business. They're all in one room. Anita's talking trash. But T-Bone Burnett is selling a lot of records and doing really well in Nashville. So for him, it is a mecca for musicians. I think for the other 99.5% of guys who are there who are super talented and not making a good living, they might have a different opinion. But I know some of the most talented people I've ever met in my life there that are like, working in guitar stores and working as a waiter at night. Yeah, I mean, you want to go, what's that place called downtown, the big breakfast place? It's Brown. Oh, I'm blanking on the name, where all the musicians hang out for breakfast. It's like the Kettle or something like that. What is that place? Hey, Nashville people, what is the big, it's 2 words, big breakfast place downtown? Pancake Pantry. That's it. The Pancake Pantry. You go to the Pancake Pantry in Nashville on any morning, Vince Gill's sitting there with 20 other amazing guys, and they're all sitting around talking about how they can't get any work done in Nashville. Having said that, I like Nashville a lot. I think it has a lot of potential. I think just there's some weird stuff going on that Tony and I might get into on our radio show. But T-Bone does a lot of music. He's not doing the TV show anymore. He quit after 1 year because he wasn't happy. I just read a big article about that. They just offered him a ton of money. He took it. Oh, Josh, we haven't had any good vulgar. I was just telling Anthony how you... Yeah, Anita, he only did the first season, and he wasn't happy with it. And he quit doing that TV show, Nashville. It's crazy. His wife is doing Nashville, the show. That's right. But he's not the musical director for the TV show anymore. Just that first season. Have you guys watched that show, Nashville? It's sort of a cartoon. If you know Nashville. None of the legends can get on the radio. Yeah, that's true at some point. But anyway. And we hit a dead spot.
And boom goes the dynamite.
and in come the crickets. How do you like your steak? Knock the horn. Okay, yeah. Yeah, those guys are all sort of... I mean, there is a little bit of inside Nashville culture and politics on that show, but it's really exaggerated. The characters are all so very predictable, and it's very soap opera. I don't hate it. I'm just not entertained by it. It doesn't hold my interest. Play guitar. All right. So I'll tell you what we ought to do. Thanks, man. I'm going to bring Tony over, and we're going to talk about a radio show. Remember, Dirty Eyes. Check out Dirty Eyes. So, Anthony, you're going to come back when the record's like downloadable and available, and
Be great.
can we play your tracks on the air?
How you going on the show? Definitely. Things not available.
Yeah.
Can we? Yeah, we can play your tracks though, and this thing on? Yeah. Very cool. I'm going to put this away for a second, and we'll talk for a couple minutes, and then it's lunchtime because I know Brett's got to finish a mix.
What do you want to know about the radio show? Guests? We got them.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Hey, let's have guests.
I didn't think about that.
Big bearded guy from Texas. Plays guitar in a band.
Are they good?
They've made some records.
Is he old?
Older than me, which means yes.
Dad breath.
Oh! Hey, now he's not coming on the show.
He just canceled.
Take care of all your guests. Don't worry.
Are you going to get him on?
We're gonna get him on.
Mr. Gibbons?
Gonna do that tonight. Down
Oh,
at Capitol
cool.
Records.
Oh, you're going over there.
That's
right.
when I'm gonna go Romance Fabrizio tonight to close the deal on the Reverend.
On the Reverend. These guys know Billy really well, too. We'll work it. You know who I think we should definitely have on the show is Brett Chasen and Bob Kulick.
Think could we get them?
I don't know. I heard they got a fee.
I heard they send roadies like a half hour before the show to set up their stuff.
Yeah, they do. They're real picky bastards. But, yeah, 7 p.m., December 7th, 8 p.m. Randy, California. Yeah, that's right.
Randy, California cannot show up. Randy died.
Oh,
Randy drowned. Randy used to be a customer of mine. I
really?
used to sell Randy stuff. Randy Wolf, great guy. Yeah. He was a customer of mine
Wow.
way back in the 80s at GC. Great guitar player. You probably played with him in New York, didn't you, Bob?
I knew him from back in the day.
Yeah.
Drowned.
Yeah. Yeah, Hendrix was
Is
a
that
big
what
Randy
happened to him?
California
Played
fan.
with Hendrix.
Yeah.
And Jimmy James was
Yeah.
Right.
playing.
What is the address to log into RAD? What is RAD? I don't know. Come on over if you can.
Brad.
Randy
Rock
would
ain't
like.
dead. Rock ain't near dead.
Rock ain't near dead.
R-A-N-D. It's Randy Radio.
There you go.
It's Randy.
Which in
Radio.
England is going to get us a whole different audience.
Yeah, we hope.
Oh, mate, is it Randy? Perished in the ocean.
If you look at my blog, you can get a pretty good idea of some of the guests I'll be bringing on the show because those are the guys I know who will do the show.
I'm posting it here, but it's latalkradio.com. Are we on channel 1 or channel 2? I can't remember.
Channel 1.
We're on
not
channel
doing
1.
No channel 2 shit.
Right. It's no number 2 for us. If you know what I mean. Thanks for naming the show for me. Oh, cool. That's right. Rock ain't near dead yet.
Rock ain't near dead yet.
That's the Randy show.
Not yet. Like it's going to next week.
Yeah.
You know, right before the release of the Dead Eyes. No, we can't have that.
The Dirty Eyes.
Dirty Eyes.
Damn it.
Dead
Ah,
Eyes.
see?
See?
That's why we're on internet radio.
Dead Eyes. Wait a second.
Dead Eyes.
Gotta give him 2 weeks to see if the thing has
I know they're killing the record before it's out. Stop that.
So, yeah, we're just going to be talking about the same kind of stuff that we do here, plus it's not going to be a 65 amp show at all. It's all more about Tony and I get into large discussions about, you know, why rock and roll is where it is, why it should be at a different place than it is, and a little bit of the history of rock and roll. We're both sort of neurotic music historians. And so we're going to try to have some cool guests on the show and get some insight from them, maybe expose some new artists to you, with their permission, of course, FCC. And, you know, just kind of have fun. It is internet radio, so we're not really governed by the FCC, only in that we can't play copyrighted material. So we might use dirty words. We might cuss. We might talk about adult themes, which we avoid a little bit here on the lunchtime video broadcast. But the radio show will probably be a little more open. It'll be, again, Saturday nights at 8 o'clock on LA Talk Radio. And then we're going to try to set up some kind of chat mechanism like this.
Yeah,
Where we can-
We'll have call-ins. You'll be able to call in.
You can call
or on
in.
chat line. I think either one.
Right. And then we'll have chat window open so you guys can hurl questions at us. And we're going to try to get more formal at some point. And
This is all. Yeah, this is just leading up to when the next step, which will be, you know, you'll actually be able to see our faces and the guests, and
right.
you know, a little more polished, a little more
Yeah.
structured, and formulated and sold out. You know, we're going to sell out really soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to sell out fast. But anyway, it'll just be kind of fun and a little bit silly and hopefully interesting. And we'll have a lot of cool guys on talking about fun stories. A little see behind the curtains a little bit in the music business, or maybe a whole lot, depending on who's there.
It'll be interesting because there's this discourse that we have where I'm kind of like, you know, the glass is half full. Dan, sometimes the glass is half empty, and
Yes.
you
I just think the glass is too big.
know, Brett thinks the glass is too big.
Brett's in a paper cup.
I just use the smaller glass.
Yeah.
Bob uses a smaller glass.
Bob uses the shot glass.
as long as it gets drank.
Well, I get frustrated with the state of rock and roll, and I'm not so frustrated. I guess I should frame it better, but we'll get into it on the show. Is I still love rock and roll. It's still my religion. I think there's plenty of good artists out there. What really, really gets under my skin is why it's not mainstream anymore.
And
so,
that's a deep river to get into, because you
Yeah.
get into political stuff, you get into all sorts of weird stuff when you go, what happened to the record industry, what happened to mainstream radio, you know, and it's a nasty business, but there's a lot of great stuff out there. But don't turn on a Clear Channel radio station and expect to hear it. You know, you can hear the same 3 songs by AC/DC that, you know, if you listen to Clear Channel, you'd think they only did 3 songs.
That's right.
You know, they don't go deep catalog, and they're sure as hell not playing anything new and exciting, but there's new and exciting stuff out there.
That's right. And Anita Farrager correctly points out, Clear Channel started it all.
But you know, somebody started Clear Channel. There's no accident there. That's not like they said, you know.
Right. Sort of the dumbing down of America.
Yeah, and it, you know, you can spend your time wallowing that, or you can do something about it. And
So Anita says Clear Channel broke the music industry.
the industry's not broke. It doesn't have any money, but it's not broke.
It's definitely changed,
It's
yeah.
not broken.
Yeah.
I have 15 good albums on my desk that I haven't gotten to yet. That, you know, you'll not get me to say, you know, there's a problem with the music, because I'm hearing more good music all the time.
Right. Oh, there's plethora. I mean, you go hear bands here in L.A. all the time. You go, wow, they're fantastic. And then, too bad we'll never hear of them.
You know, last night I go to the Baked Potato and I see Richie Kotzen in front of 60 people, and it's just the most amazing show I saw all year.
Mhm.
And the guy's just beyond fabulous. And Richie's not a young guy, but he's doing very exciting stuff.
Right. Yeah, broke is not the way it used to be. Well, I mean, you know, I was somewhat familiar with the old version of the music business, and it wasn't what you would call a sweet, congenial place to work.
Well, it used to be.
But they
because
used to sink money into artists, at least.
If you didn't have a record deal, you didn't have a record.
Right.
You know.
Artist development back then, they don't have that.
Well, that's what I was explaining to someone. We were on this radio show on Monday night, and I said we used to have a thing called a development deal, which doesn't exist anymore. Anyone under 40 doesn't even know what that is.
Labels create the talent. The talent doesn't get developed. The labels tell the talent what they're going to be. You know, look at the AMAs where you have, or the CMAs where you have, you know, these country artists talking about the ACA. They're talking politics, and that's not the artist talk, and that's what they were told to say by their handlers.
Right.
You know, and that's where the mainstream's at. They're cutting them up, carving them up, and shoving them out there. But you know, that's not where the real music's being made.
Right. Well, I mean, we know people personally. I'm not going to say names, but one of them's a good friend of mine who's moving here next month because he, you know, he's a really talented kid, plays guitar unbelievably well, sings like a bird, writes songs. He's written a bunch of hit country songs. Very handsome guy, presentable, not a drunk, all that kind of stuff. But he wasn't going to do the whole thing, you know, like we're going to send you to the gym, we're going to fix your teeth, we're going to get you a check shirt and cut the sleeves off and a big hat. And we're going to take your songs and put them in the blender so that 12-year-olds like them as well as your grandmother. And he just couldn't play that game.
He's already a decent-looking fella who already sings like a bird and plays guitar like a god. You know, he
writes
doesn't
music.
need their help.
He's a prolific songwriter, but his songs are maybe a little cerebral for, you know, he doesn't write songs about, oh, how I miss fishing with my daddy.
The bathtub's out of beer again.
Yeah, like, oh, really? You reminisce about times you went fishing with your dad when you were a kid? Wow, that's unique. But anyway, we're going to get into crazy stuff like that. Move to your next Bieber. Yeah. Well, God bless Justin Bieber. Anyway, so that's what we're going on. It must be pre-recorded at 107.7 Bone in case a song will play the same 2 songs forever follow every time. Yeah, there's a playlist of songs that is on every rock and roll station when I go through the country. You're exactly right. You go to you go through anywhere and you're going to hear Highway to Hell, You Shook Me All Night Long, and Hell's Bells or something, you know.
Anybody that listens to mainstream radio, I kind of look at them and go, why do you do that?
I know. Some people don't have a choice, though.
It's brain numbing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, really? You want to hear those 3 songs by those 3 bands over and over and over again? And somebody's going to tell you what to like. They're going to tell you what's good. You're not going to go out and find what's good yourself.
And coming up next, More Than a Feeling by Boston. But anyway, we'll figure it all out and hopefully get you guys involved, and you know,
we have some fun.
We can turn you on to some cool bands that are happening, and I guess we have to start our own record label. I guess that's the
Rock Ain't Near Dead Records. Yeah, that's
Randy Records.
That's on the back burner. You know, that's why we're out looking at
we've
studios.
We've got 2 producers right here.
Yeah.
Very cool. So that's what's going on. I don't CDs only. Well, there's a lot of people, you know, they drive in their car, and one of the only times they get to listen to music is when they're in their car. I'm kind of that way. I don't have a lot of free time to sit around and listen to music. And mostly when I do, it's in the car. And God, LA is as bad as you think. LA, you know, the music capital of the world. You'd have good radio here, but it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Although they do play Zeppelin's Rock and Roll quite a bit, and I like that.
That keeps them listening.
Yeah, but, you know, Anita, you know as well as anybody, your brother-in-law, Davey, you know, plays with 3 bands that are fantastic, including Elvis Costello. But, yeah, you don't hear any of that stuff on the radio at all. There's a bunch of great music around. Anyway, so we're going to do that and tell dirty jokes. And there will be lots of semi-nude women on the show, I think. But it's radio, so
you'll hear them.
You'll have to take our word for it. And oh my God, look who just walked through the door, and she's half naked. The music business is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free, and good men die like dogs. There's also a negative side. That's pretty good. I like that, Uncle Mitch. Well said.
It's a bank that somebody already robbed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was a phrase I learned when I lived in England is, you know, a banker will happily lend you an umbrella on a sunny day and take it back when it starts to rain. It's the same kind of thing in the music business now. If it's not guaranteed money, they don't do it. They don't do it. So we'll figure it out when maybe we'll start our own record label with you guys and put out good music and all that kind of stuff. Hunter S. Thompson. Is that a Hunter S. Thompson quote?
That is Dr. Thompson.
And
I use Spotify. Don't get me wrong. I use Spotify. I review records off of Spotify sometimes when I can't get them quick enough. You know, nobody's on Spotify that didn't go there willingly. I think it's a lousy deal. But it's part of a changing scene, you know, and it's something that's evolving. It's, you know, if you spend your nights bitching about Spotify and iTunes, I got to think you're going to lose out on a lot of time you could spend thinking about something to do creative.
Yeah, Spotify. I don't know if with the money's any worse because, you know, like when I was floating around the music business in the 80s, you know, you pretty much didn't realize any money at all till you had 2 or 3 charting singles.
A lot of bands lived on advances.
Right. Well, yeah, because they would advance you like a drug dealer.
Well, I got a good story.
A fortune.
Yeah.
Jump in, Bob.
So,
Here, we need
my
a
buddies
mic.
in KISS, you know, Gene would tell me like every year, you know, they would get their statement, and obviously, you know,
those guys
they're in
got
the
just
black.
reamed by the
They're
labels,
making
didn't they?
and that's exactly what happened. So here's a band who's making all this money for the label, and they get paid, and then you know, they have accountants go and audit the label and find that they've been shorted, you know, $50,000, $100,000. You know, like you'd think that the label would be thankful that these guys made them millions of dollars and share, you know, in the, you know, what the arrangement was. And instead, you know, they're double dipping for press and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I was telling Tony,
and, you know.
the way I understood the business in the 80s was it was a top-down thing. They start with, we're going to start a record label and we're going to make $50 million a year. They didn't say we're going to run a business and build all of our stuff up and hopefully we can net 50. They made $50 million a year. Whatever was left over, they distributed to their artists the best that they could. But if it didn't add up, then they would come up with bullshit reasons because we're taking our $50 million off the top. And if there's $20 million left over to distribute in royalties and pay for tours and pay for recording sessions, we would do that. And then, there we owe you a little bit of money, but you know, we spent money on bottled water.
Yeah, they would hold back money in case there were returns.
Right.
So if like 100,000 people decided to return, then you know we have to keep enough money to be able to take care of that.
Right. And it was a top-down thing. It wasn't like, let's build an honest business and we'll pay everybody, and if there's money left over, then we get to keep it.
Right, and you need an attorney and an accountant to go in there to actually analyze what each band was responsible for pursuant to their contract.
There used to be a big business over in Century City in the 80s of guys that were called forensic accountants. And all they would do is go back in and forensically, you know, like looking at a dead body.
Right.
How did this guy die? They could tell, well, there's a wound over here. And these were forensic accountants, and all they would do is go audit record companies.
Yep.
But they would work under the premise of, I don't care how good or bad your record deal is. I guarantee you I will find you more money than what I cost. And they cost a fortune, and they could always find more money than what they cost.
That's true.
It was like, if I can't find more than my fee, you don't have to pay me.
That's like movies. There were two sets of books kept.
Yeah.
The real books
and
the books that, no, we never recouped, but the movie made $200 million.
But it cost us $203.
Exactly.
You know.
And they have the receipts for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bob, you should come on the radio show.
Will do.
And we'll dig into all this.
Discuss all of this.
But our goal is not to crucify the record business. We're just trying to figure out a way to hopefully keep it, make people think about it, and maybe do something better.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, there's a lot of creative ways to skin a cat, and obviously
without hurting the cat.
Yeah, right.
You mean cat skinning?
Cat skinning.
Okay.
Or from where I come from, they call it mule skinning. But that's another story.
That might be harder to do.
Yeah. But I think the old model obviously doesn't work.
The old model doesn't work, but what does work is for an artist to write a bona fide hit song. So if you go out there and you write 8 days a week, you'll have a hit because there's not very many of those.
That's true, especially these days.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's the fun part. I'm not sure if this mic's working right.
Is it?
I got it just cranked over here.
Is this thing on?
And I'm barely, I'm getting more of you out of this.
This is like, one of those sessions where you give the fader to the lead guitar player, and during the mix you let him ride his guitar, and it's attached to nothing, so he's just like shoving it up there, nothing's happening.
No, Brett, I'm tapping on the microphone, and I'm barely...
Here at Office Studios, you can be assured that the mics may not work.
I know, mine's going through a compressor. I'm going to...
Thanks to Dan, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Is it working now?
Yeah, that works a lot better.
Yay! Look, success.
But anyway, so that's it. Rock ain't near dead. Anyway, it's 1:30.
See you, Weilers.
And I know Brett has to finish a mix. I think
we haven't even started it yet.
I gotta start on.
We got to listen to D. Snyder.
You guys got work to do.
We have actual work to do.
Yeah.
But I think I'll go to lunch with you anyway. So.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll figure it out. And then, awesome. Weiler's Deli in Northridge, right? Is it Northridge?
Yeah, Northridge.
Come by. If you want to buy us lunch, we'll happily save a chair for you.
Exactly.
But anyway, so we got off. Anyway, so this has been the EL84 prototype. I hope you dig it. And I'll have it back next week, hopefully a little more baked. Yeah.
Miles will be here.
Could you be less baked? Could you be more baked?
A little more baked. Thanks to Anthony Stasi, aka Salami. I still think that's just so racist.
Good to have a nickname.
Yeah. And
Ow.
Well, you think Tony the Wop, you know?
yeah, we used to call him. Yeah.
We used to call Tony the Wop. We figured salami was more user friendly.
Yeah. D. Schneider, isn't that's what you're working on, right?
He's here with Teddy two time or whatever.
Right.
Well, his name is.
All right. And Tony Conley, thanks for coming again. Brett and Bob, thanks for letting us invade your space.
Invade is the key word here.
Invade.
She'll be here next week.
I prefer the term maraud.
Gladys.
Hey Anita, if you want
Maybe.
to show up at Capitol Records, just tell them you're my date tonight from 7 to 9. I'll be hanging out there.
Tony-
Stop by. I'd love to meet you.
Tony will be at Capitol
the
Records
drinks
tonight.
are free and there's hors d'oeuvres and handsome Italian men.
Free Beach Boys and Beatles CDs.
That's right, and Frank Sinatra.
And Frank.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm not sure about
Fly me to the moon.
How about just to Weilers?
Fly me to the deli so you can fill up my belly. That's a hit. Anyway, fellas, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. It's been a weird random show, but we'll see you in a week. And what's Tony's nickname? Tony Conley? What is his nickname?
We'll get to it.
We'll work on that.
I think we should.
Tony the Tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, Gladys. Or
Gladys.
Gladys.
That was my prison name.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that's my tattoo. That's right above my. Anyway, never mind.
Gladys.
Yeah.
Badass. Yeah.
When I was
the name of that woman from Glendale, right?
when I was somebody's bitch. That's yeah.
Ooh.
No, that's not true. We call
Hit
him.
stop record quick.
We call him the Hammer.
We'll be editing this later.
Yeah, right. Anyway, thank you again, guys.
See you
And
next week with salami, bologna, and pastrami.
on that happy note, we're out of here.
NSFW.
And vegetarian stuff for those who don't eat meat.
See, there you go. That's right, veggie salami.
Veggie salami.
And we're